Hey, good morning, everyone, and welcome to your weekly focus. Hey, I'm Russ McCann. I'm super excited to be with you live. It is the 1st of November. Did you guys survive Halloween? Hopefully, it wasn't too ghoulish out there for you. I know Denise dressed up as a unicorn and went off to Apple Hill with some friends from high school and enjoyed a little bit of Halloween fun. But just wanted to say good morning, everyone. We made it to November, and November is just such a magical time. I love Thanksgiving. I love, this time of the year, the fall, the Christmas of the year. It just kind of brings me to a spot of gratitude. And I'm really grateful for you and all of our clients and friends out there on Facebook. We've been doing this 12-week series. So this is week number 11. We only have one more left in this series. And the series here on Your Weekly Focus is really designed to help you each and every week become a better version of yourself. And I love this quote by Dr. Anderson. He's a really good friend of mine, my business mentor, my personal health coach. And Dr. Anderson wrote this amazing book called The Habits of Health. And in The Habits of Health, he talks about organizing your life around what matters most to you. And I love that because when you think about, life gets so busy and so hectic, and we tend to, especially if you've got kids. Anybody out there have kids? If you've got kids, you're probably being run by them, right? Their schedule, their activities. Maybe you have a spouse, maybe you're caring for a loved one, and we just kind of tend to forget about ourselves. And so I love this whole thought about organizing your life in such a way to help you become a better version of yourself and live the life that you desire. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that today in Your Weekly Focus, but in our 12-week series, we really started at the beginning. Why are you here? What brought you here? What is it you're looking to create? What is it that you're focused on in terms of improving your life? We talked about goal setting a couple of weeks ago. Last week, we talked about mindset, really having a growth mindset, being positive, being uplifting. What do they say? Do you light up a room when you walk into a room, or do you light up the room when you leave, right? So having the right mindset allows you to interact with people in a more meaningful way. What else did we talk about? We talked about physical fitness and activity and hydration, all the components of health, about the power of community. So it's just an amazing time that we get to spend together. And I wanted to just say, before we got too far into our weekly live this morning, I want you to drop in the chat, drop in the comments where you're coming in from. I always love seeing that. This is an interactive medium, so it allows me to interact with you. So as you post your comments, I get a chance to see them, and we can share some of those together this morning. And I want to make sure that by the end of our live today, we'll probably spend about 20 minutes together, that you walk away and go, wow, that was pretty powerful, and I hope to implement many of the strategies that Russ has laid out. So again, welcome to our live. So let's get going a little bit. So I wanted to talk this morning, as we've been talking about all the variations and components of health, talking about managing your time wisely. And this is an area, really, I think it benefits everybody in terms of where do we spend our time. Are we making time, or are we wasting time? And what is it? We've got 168 hours in the week. It's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We probably sleep 8 hours, right? So that takes away about 56 hours, which leaves us 112 hours left to live our life. Now, if you're in a traditional work environment, maybe you have to pull out 40 hours a week of work time. And so that leaves you with 72 hours of life left. And so we're going to talk about how to make the most of that, because I think, I love when I'm starting to work with new business coaches. We always tell people, people say, I don't have time, I'm just so super busy. Well, guess what? Busy people get shit done. I just want to say that, So and it's true, because when you're busy and you have an active life and you've got a lot of things going on, you have to really be mindful of, okay, where am I going to squeeze this in? And I've got to go do this, but I want to make sure I get this done, right? So you're a better manager of the time that you have. But people that, I think of people that are retired or people that work from home. Maybe sometimes when you work from home, you got to be logged onto the computer 8 hours. So that's really not your time. but many of us that are working from home, we've been coaching for over 17 years. Actually, we're working on our 18th year. We've been doing it full time as our single source of income for over 15 years. And I could just share with you, we do not coach 40 hours a week. We don't. We love what we do. We love helping people, but it just doesn't take that much time. And so we have a lot more free time. And so the question is, are we making the most of that time, or are we kind of wasting it away? So think about, and I would love for you to interact with me this morning and maybe drop in the comments, whether you're over on YouTube or you're on Facebook or you're over on our business page. I would love for you to kind of interact with me. Where do you feel you waste time? Because it doesn't mean that you can't have some time to yourself and to relax and things like that. But, since we're only given 72 hours after our working hours, we really want to make those count. So drop in the comment where you feel maybe you waste time. And I'm thinking, of my own personal experience. Yeah, there you go. So I love it. Denise put in there that she wastes time on Facebook. Anybody ever gotten lost scrolling on Facebook? Denise made a comment the other day. She says, I didn't know you realized that you watch so many reels. The other day, I was just kind of scrolling reel after reel after reel. They made me laugh, and some of them were pretty entertaining. Actually, I learned some stuff, but the reality is, they're a little bit of a time waster. So I would just say, I tend to use a Facebook as well, Denise, to kind of waste a little time. Sometimes it's, watching TV or watching too much news. Anybody watching too much news these days? Especially now during the political season, I think a lot of us are probably trying to, make some final decision in terms of who we're going to vote for. But Denise says lately it's scrolling reels. Yeah, I totally get that. And Luana's with us this morning. Good morning, Luana. Facebook and Netflix sometimes at the same time. Okay, so you're a multitasker. You can scroll on Facebook and watch a Netflix movie. Denise is a little multitasker as well, although she can do a little bit of work and watch a movie or listen to something. I can't do that. I've got to be, dedicated on what it is in front of me. So, but I think when we think about wasting time, I know I tend to kind of go out in the yard and putz around. I do it under the guise of work, but sometimes I'm chasing leaves down the driveway with a leaf blower a couple of times a week, So we can all spend time doing things that maybe aren't so critical to our life and maybe not so meaningful. But what I wanted to share with you this morning is a couple of tools that we use with our coaches to help them manage their time effectively. And you know what? It's going to help you too. And so I wanted to kind of share a little worksheet that we use called a time block worksheet, right? So it's got, 7 days out of the week, and it starts at 6 a.m. and I think it ends at 11 a.m. And it allows you to what we call block out time to do the things that are important to you. And so I think about faith, family, finances, work, physical fitness, having time to yourself, having time for your spouse, your kids, your family. And then, of course, we probably have some chores and some things in there that have to get done. So setting aside time to do that can be very, very powerful. So just so you know, if you would like this blank time block worksheet, and I would love it if you would, just drop in the comments, hey, Russ, I'd like this worksheet. I'll send it over to you in Messenger and make sure that you get it. If you're over on YouTube, again, I'll reach out to you and make sure that you get it. You can also email me, russ@russmccann.com. And you can always email me and ask me for this time block worksheet. I'll make sure that anybody who wants it gets it. Because when you do this worksheet, and here's kind of an example of a worksheet that's kind of completed. And I love color coding. So in fact, even if you want the Excel version or that you can color code it yourself, I'll make sure that you have that. But I love it because it makes it very visual. I'm a visual person, and I love seeing things kind of all colored out. I know Denise loves kind of doing this kind of stuff, but I'm just going to walk through kind of what a typical time block might look like for you, because you may not be thinking about some of these things. And our topic today is really time blocking around the aspect of health. Where do I work in things that will help me be healthier? So the very first thing of the day is to wake up in the morning and dedicate some time to a healthy morning routine that gets you off to a great start. And that doesn't mean jumping out of bed and running to the gym, although many people do that. Sometimes it's just getting up, having a nice cup of coffee or a cup of tea. Maybe it's grabbing a little bit of devotion or a book that you've been reading. Maybe there's some motivational self-development that you're working on. Maybe it's just sitting back and listening to some soft music as you're beginning your day. In other words, don't let the alarm clock jolt you out of bed and throw you out the door. Okay, take some time for you. This is a healthy habit, and I love it. It's kind of your morning wake-up routine. So I love just dedicating time to this because I'm not one of those that hits the alarm and just, I need a little bit of time to wake up. Denise, she can wake up. She's got that really cheery attitude. Man, I'm kind of still a little groggy. It takes me a while to get going, but having a really good morning routine is important. And then the next one that I put in here is, right after you get done with your morning routine, have a nice breakfast. Have something healthy. Maybe it's a protein shake if you got to get off to work, or a protein bar. Maybe it's a little cup of yogurt with a few strawberries. Maybe it's a couple of eggs. I love doing a couple of scrambled eggs with a few strawberries, a couple pieces of fruit. And I would just say, start your day with breakfast. That gets your blood sugars balanced, that gets your metabolism going, that gets your body functioned and fueled so that you can get through the next 3 or 4 hours. So dedicate some time to make sure that you have breakfast, a really important healthy habit. And then maybe you have a little bit of free time before you head off to work, or maybe even you have to get in the car and do a little commute. So that might be an example. But, that might be Monday through Friday, but maybe on the weekends, maybe you dedicate, maybe your morning routine doesn't start at 6 a.m. Maybe it starts at 8 or 8:30. And I love it, but still take the time to do your morning routine on Saturday and Sunday. That way you have time for you. Maybe you dedicate some time on Saturday for the family, or Sunday you go to church. Or maybe as you get later on in the day, maybe when you get home from work, before you actually get home, maybe you run over to the gym Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Maybe you set aside dinner with the family Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, date night, right? Schedule in a date night. If you have a significant other, you have a meaningful relationship with someone, set aside time each week. Maybe you go out for a nice little dinner, or maybe you go for a walk. Maybe Friday evening is movie night with the kids. Dedicate that time to spend with the family and the ones that you care so much about. Maybe Sunday afternoon, you got to do a few chores, get ready for the week. Maybe you do a little meal prep. Maybe you get the laundry done. Maybe you vacuum the carpet. Maybe you kind of get things all ready so that you're not so hectic during the course of the week. And then later on in the evening, I love this, and that is have a wind down time. Wind, W-I-N-D, wind down time, not wind down time. All my clients are going, oh, Russ is advocating wind down, right? No, I'm saying take time to just kind of relax at the end of the day. Maybe you turn the TV off. Maybe you change the lighting, get the temperature of the room just right. Maybe you do a little bit more reading, self-development, devotion. Maybe you do some journaling. But relax your mind, turn off the phone, get off of Facebook. Maybe it's okay if you go listen to one of my previous lives, right? No, I'm just kidding. But dedicate that time at the beginning of the day and the end of the day. Dr. Anderson in The Habits of Health talks about how important these hours are. It's the morning ritual and the twilight hour before you go to bed can make such a big difference in terms of getting a good solid 8 hours sleep. So when you think about this time blocking exercise that we've been going through, we've actually had many components of health, right? Taking time for yourself, taking time for exercise. Don't let the day control you. You actually control the day. And when you begin to develop some of these skills, and after a while, you'll get this routine and it will become habit, then you have habits of health that you've worked in. You'll be more mentally clear. You're getting a lot more accomplished. Remember my quote at the beginning of the day, busy people get shit done. Well, that's absolutely true. This is a busy schedule. There's a lot going on in life, kids and family and spouse and gym and work and breakfast and being healthy and doing meal prep. There's a lot in this week, but you know what? There's still a lot of white space for you to just have some time for you. Maybe you set aside some time for some friends, or maybe you've got an outing or a party to go to or a wedding to go to. All these things come into play. But if you let these things take over your life and become part of a a process where you actually don't get a good night's sleep because you're not getting enough done during the day, so that you're taking away time to sleep. That's not a good habit. Maybe you've set aside going to the gym or going for a walk because you've just been too busy. Maybe the Netflix and the Facebook has kept you from being physically active. So don't let that happen. And so really, really focusing on what's important to you can be really, really powerful, especially as it relates to managing and making time an effective use of each and every day. So hopefully you found that helpful. If you'd love the blank worksheet, I'll make sure that you have it. I wanted to also let you know, I introduced this last week. Nobody took me up on it, but we created a free daily habit assessment. So it's just an opportunity for you to go online, do a short little assessment in terms of your habits, your daily routine and habits. And we talk about time, we talk about health, and we talk about family and fitness and mindset. So we've been doing this 12-week series, and this is kind of a daily habit assessment of the things that you've learned over the last 12 weeks and how effective are you implementing them. So what I'd love for you to do is go to habits.yourweeklyfocus.com. That's habits.yourweeklyfocus.com. Take a couple of minutes to do that short assessment. It'll give you a score at the end of it, and it'll tell you kind of where you're at in terms of the scope of being healthy. So I would just encourage you to go do that. And at the end of every weekly focus, remember, we do this every Friday at 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. Pacific, every Friday morning. The name of our series is Your Weekly Focus, and it's designed to give you just a few minutes each week to focus in on something that's healthy and that can benefit your life. And so over the last 10 days, I've been participating with some of our clients and coaches in what we call a 10-day fat burn blitz. And basically means for 10 days, I'm focused on improving my health goals, nutrition, being more active, getting a good night's rest, drinking more water, just some of these things that help us be healthy. And guess what? I lost 7.4 pounds in 10 days. And I feel good. I'm 66 years old. I'm better now than I was in my 30s and 40s. And these little 10-day fat burn blitz, it's kind of a little health tune-up, really gets me in a different mindset. And I love doing that here in October and November, getting ready for the holidays, so the holidays don't become a distraction. You know, many people between Halloween and New Year's actually gain 8 to 10 pounds. And I've made it my mission not to do that. And so again, a 10-day fat burn blitz can be really effective. We have a new one starting next Monday. So if you'd like more details, feel free to reach out to me. But that's not our assignment for the week. The assignment is, I want you to take a piece of paper or your schedule, do it on Google Calendar or do it on whatever calendar system you have, but I want you to block out some time. But I want you to block out 30 minutes each and every day to do something that improves your health. So that might be that walk, that might be going to the gym, that might be doing breakfast and drinking more water. Or it might be some of that time on Sunday afternoon to do a little meal prep to set your time up to be successful. Or actually going to the grocery store with a good, healthy list of items that you want to buy to encourage you to be healthy this week. So take 30 minutes out of your schedule this week and dedicate it to doing something that will help you improve your health. So that's the assignment for the week. It's an easy one, by the way. So feel free to send me a quick message, drop me a comment, let me know how you're utilizing your weekly focus to improve your life. I know, Luana, I think you might have missed my celebration of you a couple of weeks ago. I know you had said, look, goal setting smart goals really work. And then you shared a picture of some things that you were doing to reorganize your home and to let go of some things that you've been hanging on to for a while. So getting rid of some of the clutter. And you know what? That's my goal, is that during our weekly focus every Friday at 10 o'clock, that I help provide value that you can turn right around and go do something that improves your life. And that's really what we're all about on the weekly focus. So anyway, I just would encourage you to join me next week as we wrap up our 12-week series. And then I'm going to have to come up with another series. That'll be easy going to the holidays. But next week, we're going to talk a little bit about momentum and taking everything that we've learned over the last 11 weeks, kind of putting a little bow on it and developing momentum so that you can create lifelong healthy habits and not make it just so kind of a one and done. You know, many people that approach me initially reach out to me and say, hey, I want to go on that diet thing. I want to lose weight just like you and your clients are doing. That's okay. That's a great place to start, but that's not what I'm all about. What I'm all about is helping you transform into a healthier version of yourself lifelong. And so we're going to talk a little bit about taking what we've learned over the last week, taking that momentum and carrying it into such an amazing time of the year. We've got Thanksgiving coming up in a few weeks. We've got Christmas, Hanukkah. We've got the new year. This is an amazing time for you to focus on you. So with that, you guys go out and have an amazing week. Do something nice for somebody this week. Dedicate extra 30 minutes a day on something that improves your overall health. Use that time blocking exercise. And if we can help in any way, please feel free to reach out to us. You guys have an amazing week. And we'll talk to you next Friday at 10 o'clock. Come back and join us. Don't forget to block that on your schedule. So see you next week.